I ain't feeling good, but I'm just gonna start it off. You're listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Everything Commanders post game show, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. The Washington Commanders defeated the New Orleans Saints in the nail biter 20-19. I'm Wole. I'm joined by my homie George. The homie Glenn will be coming on shortly. But before we get to the game and my true emotions about this game, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, to iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_everything. And if you're watching this right now on YouTube, subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. This podcast is also being streamed on the Urban Sports Scene X handle as well. All right, let's get to it, man. George, Washington was dominating this game in the first half. Looked like the Saints could do nothing with them. This ended up being a game that they could have lost on a last-minute 2-point conversion, but it was incomplete. Your thoughts on this game before I provide mine?
I've never felt worse after a win. I'm trying to remember I've seen some games where this team has been at least a decent team or a playoff contender, and you thought, ooh, that wasn't great, but at least they won. This is one of the worst ones I can remember. At 14-0, there was nothing happening for New Orleans, which is why they went to Rattler, and that was a good move. But you start with questionable play calling in the red zone, and then throughout the rest of the game by Cliff Kingsbury and his offensive staff. It wasn't great in the first half either, but at least they got some touchdowns.
Yeah.
And if you're going to defend him, you can say, well, he had Terry, Jaden Daniels had Terry for 2 huge touchdowns that would have put this game away. The throws were a little inaccurate. He missed Terry on one. Terry probably should have caught the other one. Okay, fine. But there was very little of what they did today. Almost kind of from minute one made little sense to me. Again, Saints, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, and you're not even really testing them running the football. And yes, they were gearing up, and you got to take what the defense gives you, but you got to wear this team down. And then to let Spencer stinking Rattler go up and down the field on you. What are you doing? But more to the point, why is Benjamin St-Juste getting one snap? Because at the point that this particular play that you're probably going to hear a lot about during this podcast today, Washington is up 17-0. The Saints have nothing happening. They are getting off the field. They're going to get the ball in great field position. This is going to be a nothing game. And that man commits one penalty and everything starts to go wrong from there. Why does that man ever continue to see the field? It is an absolute joke. As one of our dear friends on Twitter likes to say, he should be stacking the shelves at Wegmans. And I've had enough of Benjamin St-Juste and his tomfoolery. That was a needless, ludicrous penalty. And from that sprung all the other bad stuff that nearly led to their defeat. And thank God they won. They still control what they can control. They may be the 6th seed by tonight. But as somebody that said on this show during the bye week that they can win all 4 after the bye, I feel like backing off that one now, because that performance today is just unacceptable from the second half on. Is totally unacceptable from a team that had 2 weeks off. And just, what was that after 2 weeks off?
So I'm tweeting something real quick. So all right, but let me go ahead and now speak my madness, man. George, can I go solo?
Oh, go right ahead, please.
That's just trash. The Saints was missing everybody and their mama, and you're gonna put out that effort after a bye. The first half was lovely, man. It was lovely, but I felt like you took the Saints for granted. Like, you played them like with no respect. And at the end of the day, you gotta respect your opponent to a certain extent if you want to really blow them out and put your best work out there on the football field. And I'm talking about coaches, players. Well, I'm gonna say coaches. Obviously there were some misplays like Terry dropping that easy touchdown would have changed the game. Saints juice with the stupid the stupid holding play that kind of changed momentum in the game as well. But you see that your kicker ain't that dude. Even at the end of the game, you see the kicker ain't that dude. You saw it. He missed the chippy, but the clock went out. So you already knew he ain't that guy. You're going to kick a 54-yard field goal, knowing this team has one timeout left with a rookie QB, and you could have pinned them back, but instead you go for the extra, you go for the 54-yard kick and you miss it. Now you put them in position to get the game winning touch, to get game time and game winning touchdown plus the 2-point conversion. You give them that opportunity for what? For what? What was that proof? Cliff Kingsbury throwing the ball when they should have been milking the clock. For what? Win the game if you already played horribly. Trying to win the freaking game. What are we doing here? We ain't trying to pat stats. We trying to win a game. It's a playoff push. There's no need to be playing around. Win the game. Dominate, win the game. 3rd and 1. Third and goal from the 1-yard line. You doing a play action to Jay Daniels to get sacked? No, run B-Rob. They got a horrible run defense. It's 1 yard. We trust B-Rob to give us 1 yard. Stop playing with your food and win the game. Sorry, I'm back.
And I know that's it, because this is, and unfortunately, what worries me is we've all been dismissing the Cliff Kingsbury and the Bears links and other things. Cliff Kingsbury coached like an offensive coordinator who's trying to show how smart he is to get another job instead of winning the damn game. And Cliff Kingsbury, that is, if you'd have lost the game, it would have almost been a fireable offense. That's how bad your play calling was. From literally that moment, from the moment you said the 3rd and goal at the 1, from that point on, Cliff Kingsbury did just about nothing right. He can't help the two misses between Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels. Those were great plays, obviously, but not much else. And you nearly gave this game away because you're trying to show how smart and clever you are instead of just winning the damn game. It is unacceptable. And Dan Quinn needs to rein him in and get him to come correct on this.
Look, Dan Quinn has to rein himself in too. They both got it's an effort. It's a complete effort on the coaching staff, to be real with you. After a bye, you put that effort in, that's your fault. That is your fault. Did Cliff Kingsbury wasn't good either. So I'm not. This is no excuse. I'm not taking up for Cliff Kingsbury. But like I mentioned, it's your kicker is you don't have a clutch kicker. You see it. We saw it. A 54-yard kick. You got Spencer Rattler, who before this game was struggling. You want to make him Joe Montana. Go try to be Joe Montana. Go try to take it for the one. You got a great punter in Trustway. Go ahead. Go to the length of the field with 1 timeout. Go for it. So by them not punting it, you giving them all the you open up the you open up the playbook for them. You can now run the football. You saw them. They ran instead of Washington thought they were going to pass the ball. They ran it. Why? Because again, you opened up the playbook for their offense in that situation. So Dan Quinn, that's on you. That, the game shouldn't got to that point because that point's on you. In terms of Cliff, you got too cute. That's the problem with Cliff. You're getting too cute right now, bro. That's the problem. No, you're out here to win the game. You're out here to dominate your opponent. I don't care what you have to do to dominate your opponent, but you dominate your opponent. I don't need you trying to say, look at me. Look at the plays I can design. Look, I can show you I can get people. I don't need that. I need you to dominate your opponent. It's the playoff stretch. Like George said, you went out, you control your own destiny. You play for the next opponent. All right, this is a lesser team. All right, I need to beat the mess out this team because now I can prepare for the Eagles, who is a real Super Bowl contending team. Playing like this, you gonna stand a chance against the Eagles? Man, get out of here. Come on. Atlanta's now playing like this. You gonna beat Atlanta? Get out of here. I'm serious. I don't care. Hey, Paul, there's no tune-ups no more, bro. You my guy, but ain't no more tune-ups. Play football. That's what I want. Play football. I'm done with tune-ups. Play football because they're not good enough to be tuning up. They're not good enough. And I want my man Paul. He said this though. The only thing good, true. I should be positive. I need to get back on my positive tip. The only good thing is that they're 9-5. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great to be 9-5. But like my man Steve said, we got lucky.
Yeah.
Play calling was horrendous in the second half.
I did not understand.
Glenn, I mean, I'm with you. Like there was the Terry drops. They weren't drops. It was the Terry drop, and Jaden missed Terry deep.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you can argue third and go from the 1 yard line and doing a play action. That was a dumb play call. If you score that touchdown, game's over. That was a dumb play call.
Where was that's the other thing. Okay, you're struggling to run the football against this defense. Where was the hurry up? Where was the let's line up quick and see if we can tire these guys out? You can go no huddle and still run out of it. Why didn't they change tempo? There were so many things I didn't understand. So many things I didn't understand about this game. Why? Didn't they adjust that way?
And I think this, Jaden had the Saints had 8 sacks, I believe. Jeremy saying that I can't defend Jay, and he was responsible for a lot of the sacks. Yeah, some of them he was going out of bounds. Like I'm like, just throw the ball away, bro. Like he was like, throw the ball away. He was taking sacks, but he just threw the ball away. So yeah, some of them when he was scrambling, he was going out of bounds. I was like, just throw the ball away, because some of that stuff was registered as sacks, and I was like, if you throw the ball away, it's not a sack. You're not losing a yard or anything. 9-5 is the only good thing that came. I'm with you, Paul. I'm with you, Paul.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm with you. Mark said we were sluggish at times, but at least we are 9-5. We got to be ready for the Eagles and almost be perfect. Yeah, but you got to prepare for being perfect. You can't just
you don't even have to be perfect.
But you got to be playing. I know you said go ahead, George.
No, we don't have to be perfect, but we have to be smart. And the one good decision this coaching staff made in the second half was to go for it on that 4th and 1. That was it. Because at that point, the way the momentum was going against them, they needed to extend that drive. They needed to run more time off the clock. They needed to score, which they didn't do. They got into the scoring range. And something else we got to talk about, because this is also coaching. You're coming off a bye, and you commit 9 penalties for 84 yards. I don't know if that was a final number, but I made sure to look right towards the end. 9 penalties for 84 yards. That was the stuff that was going on early in the season. And I'm not blaming all that on you can't blame all that on the new center. I didn't think he had a bad game today, honestly, Michael Dieter. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some hard questions for this coaching staff. 14 days between games, and you not only fall apart in the second half, you got questionable coaching calls. 9 penalties in a game is just what in the heck? Again, you said it before we got on the air. There's a lot of Ron Rivera stuff going on out there today, and you're absolutely right.
Like you said, this the only thing difference that we won, but like playing after a bye and you get this type of performance, that's some Ron Rivera type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing difference that we actually got to win, and we got lucky on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Saints made it easy. Like they weren't great. You know,
you're letting backups cook you. Scotty Miller, for God's sake. Kamara goes out injured, and it's Scotty Miller running the ball.
Kamara comes out the game, and now we got. Come on, man. What's happening here? Like, what's happening? Like, real talk. What's happening?
Foster Moreau.
Yeah, like what's happening?
The
sacks are deceiving. Sacks are deceiving. There was some pressure. The O-line wasn't good. The O-line wasn't good.
But I do agree with what Jeremy said earlier, that I think a lot of those was on Jaden. Like the one where he was back there and he was just kind of this. It looked like he was just doing whatever, and the nickel guy came.
Yeah. He just wasn't looking. Truth be told, he didn't expect him. He just wasn't paying attention. I'm just keeping it a bit. He didn't. Yeah. I won't say paying attention. He didn't see him. He literally didn't see him, because you can tell he was surprised that he was surprised he was coming. He was coming at him so free. Exactly. All right. He needs to stay in. I'm never a mean.
Stay in New Orleans.
I'm not a mean person. He can stay in New Orleans though.
Yes.
He can stay in New Orleans.
And it's just. They're getting off. They get a sack. They're getting off the field. The Saints have got. There is nothing happening for the Saints. They have like 4 or 5 first downs, I think, in the game to that point. And I guarantee you, if that's a 3 and out, Washington's going to get the ball at least at their own 40, maybe better than that, because special teams outside of Joseph Smith actually had a decent day today. I think they've actually found some things they can do in the return game that can help them.
He
You
looked
want
good.
them positive.
Yeah.
But you go down there, score, and it's 20, and it's 24 zip, or 20, even 20 to zip. It's game over. It's game over. You're cruising home in this game, and instead, it just went from there. Benjamin St. Juice. Do not be on it. Don't come Monday.
Just stay in New Orleans, man. Just have a good time. Just have a good time. Enjoy your life, bro. Enjoy your life and stay.
Enjoy some beignets and some etouffee and stay there.
Yeah, play calling was bad. I think so. I think the second half play calling was bad. I don't. It's hard for me. I'll say this much. I'm not gonna knock the plays. I feel like the play to Terry that he dropped was a great play call. Terry dropped it. Let's keep it a bean. Like, I'm not going to be that person and be like, oh, that was bad. So it messed up the whole situation. So I don't want to blame that drop. That's a touchdown. So I won't call that the play. I have an issue with the B-Rob. Like, when it was 17, we scored. We went for the field goal because that's 3rd and 1. That's 3rd and 1, and B-Rob has been easy getting 1 yard at the goal line. He's easy at that. That's his money. If anything, that's his money. And you got cute by doing a play action, and they busted it through, and you got a sack. They got a sack out of it. Why not play it safe and just run it? If anything, run B-Rob once and run him twice. If anything, I just feel like he was being too cute. That's all. He was being way too cute.
And here's the other thing: can we have Jaden Daniels jump over the line once in a while, stick the ball over the line, Drew Brees style?
I don't trust him because he fumbled that one that was kind of dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't trust. Like, I think he gets a little like that one. Luckily, he got a touchdown out of that drive because being Jay was special on that play prior. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, man.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's one of those things because it's like I watched the littlest Drew Brees, one of the littlest quarterbacks in the NFL, and he did that mess plenty of times. Jump over the line, reach the ball over, it's a touchdown.
Some people lose that football. I'd rather you just go with the
no, that's fair. That's fair enough. But it's like, give the ball to Brian Robinson or Jerry McNick. Here's the other thing. I don't remember Candy saying Chris Rodriguez was inactive.
He played. He had like 1 carry.
What's that? Chris Rodriguez has been good every time he's gotten a chance.
He played.
If Brian Robinson's struggling, then come back with Chris Rodriguez some. That's another thing this whole coaching thing was just I do not understand what they were thinking at all with most of what they were doing in the second half.
I think Ray said those players like Terry's miscue wide open. All right, I'm gonna say this about the Louisville thing. I told you this, George. He's a sack dude, man. He's not that linebacker. So him dropping interceptions is not surprising. It's not. He's not, to me. He's not that guy.
With the secondary play, if he just runs through, does that ball almost stick to his body or
no? Which one?
Okay.
The one
that was bobbled.
There's 3 of them.
It looked like he slowed down just a little bit, and I was thinking, like, if he ran through, would the ball just come right into his body?
He underthrew it. Jade underthrew it.
Okay.
Jade, you talking about the second one, the one that
I'm talking about the one where it was on the sideline and he tipped it and just missed it.
Jade underthrew it.
Okay.
Jade underthrew it. He had to slow down. He slowed down because the ball was.
I'm not talking about the deep one. I'm talking about the one that was like a 15, 20 yards. And it would have gone, if he'd have caught it, it was the one that he bobbled it, got his hands on it twice, and it fell down. It might have been the last one.
Oh, I know the one. I thought he bobbled that one too. I know the one that's underthrown. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, no, you're right about the other one being underthrown. And by the way, that the guy hit him before the ball got there. It should have been pass interference.
I know.
Where was that, referees?
No, and it wasn't about the ref. I was mad that Vilma didn't talk about that. He didn't even say anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, Jonathan Millman is by far not the worst color announcer we got.
Not, but I could tell he mentioned it, and he played in New Orleans. So he played in New Orleans, so I was like, yeah, I could tell you had some type of bias there. There was some type of bias there. Clip called some dumb run plays for. I know, and why not give the ball? Exactly,
Michael Underwood.
Exactly. What did Jeremy say? Those sacks. Those sacks are. Some of those sacks was Jayden when it was running behind. Yeah, because Jayden should throw the ball away, Paul. Be real. Jayden should throw the ball away. That's what I was saying. That was his fault. You throw the ball away. Some of those plays, there was no need to even try to, because they weren't run designs. Jayden just chose to extend it. He could have easily threw the ball away. Easily. But not a big deal though. Like I don't care about the sacks. JN, I'm trying to read all y'all comments. I got a bunch of comments. Mike said Jaden seems to me as if he was trying too hard to make himself the man. All right. I'm not going to argue this. I felt like there was some hero ball being played.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Kind of agree with it, Mike, a little bit. Kind of agree to this. And I'll say this, Mike. I don't know if it's someone that was putting on Jaden. I think someone was putting on Cliff trying to make Jaden the hero too. And I felt like just instead of just playing your football game that's been winning you football games, to a point where I said, like, being this run team that you run off of play action has been great for Washington. And that's running with the quarterback and running also with the running back and also like then taking your shots. But I felt like they were just trying to do overly too much. Because you see when Washington plays this brand of football, we've seen it. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. It doesn't work for the length of the game. Put it that way.
Yep.
It doesn't work. But yeah, with my guy George. Yeah, George is right. Cliff's conditioning. Yeah.
I mean, that's what concerns me is that a lot of the games this year, there's been a couple times he's been too clever by half, but a lot of the games this year, he's like, I got something working, I'm going to stick with it. And today, it was just like, man, I'm so smart. Let me show you all how smart I am. Oh my God. It's just, it is an offensive coordinator thing. I mean, I'm sure there are defensive coordinators that have done it too, but in general, this is an offensive coordinator move. I've seen it all the time. These guys that just try to be so damn clever. Yeah, Ray's right. Ray is right about that.
He was saying we.
Yes. And God, if he'd mentioned Cliff Kingsbury being on his team for one game to throw one pass one more time, I was going to get a little frustrated.
Oh, yeah, the Army catch, that was nice, but it got called back because of a stupid holding call.
And it was a clear holding. There were some bad calls by the ref against Washington, but that was clear as day. That was holding.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Ray said he slowed up. I'm not sure about the play. I think Ray said he did slow up, though. I don't know.
Yeah, there was the two deep ones. This was not as deep as those, and he bobbled it twice. And I felt like if he'd just run through it, the ball might have just came into his chest, and he'd have grabbed it, and he would have been gone for a touchdown. I think it's the drive where they end up missing the field goal.
He didn't. Yeah, he did not miss Noah. Noah didn't. He didn't miss. I wouldn't say he missed Noah. That was like players were open, and he made throws. So I don't think he missed Noah at all. I'm trying to put having hero. Darnell Brown said having an injured center caused us to be ineffective at the run at running the ball. I'm kind of with. It wasn't best. It definitely wasn't the best. Like I've seen better in terms of run block for this.
No, I think that's a good point, Darnell Brown. I mean, I don't think Dieter did too bad today, but I think that's a fair comment about that. We probably struggled with the inside zone running game a lot because of that. Although, again, a couple of those runs for Jaden Daniels that were big runs were right up the middle of the field where at least Dieter got the guy out of the way or let him come up and JD found the seam and went and took off.
Which is different when you do a quarterback run option. They're going to play a little bit more passive because you're kind of playing it like it's your pass blocking. Well, man, Taj, Jaden and Terry Performance said was was like getting a bag of candy as a kid, but only to see all the candy was the courage. It's candy, but I can't eat this. Yeah,
it's like a big bag of candy corn is what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jaden got to learn to throw the ball away. He does.
Yes. Well, and
he's got to learn how to throw the ball away. It's a thing.
And I don't know if that's a Cliff thing or what, but it's like you get out. You know that you get outside the pocket. All you got to do is get it to the goal, to the yard, the original line of scrimmage, and throw the ball at somebody's feet. It's okay. It's okay. Yep. Like that killed him in the Dallas game when he didn't throw that ball at the guy's feet that got intercepted.
Yeah, I like this one by he mentioned this because some of it, like I said, Darnell said, "What about the basketball?"
Both of them were terrible.
That was all right. So I'll be real with you. In terms of the letter of the law, the first one was legit. Like I don't like the call because he went high. It's high. Once you go high, they're gonna call it. It's a real football. And I'm just saying, in terms of today's football, I'm just keeping it being. Today's football, you can't tackle high.
And you're right about that, but it's like roughing is not. I mean, because it's a glancing blow at best.
But
I mean, and he gets the shoulder pad more than he gets the helmet.
We've got that with Jaden. Like we've gotten that with Jaden. Like
no, that's true. That is true. That is true. The second one was
football. I don't know what that was. Like he just tackled him. I don't know what
the chest.
Like I don't know what the second one was. I'm gonna be real. Like I don't like any roughing the passing calls, but I know that the first one, though I don't agree with it, I know they call that. The second one, I don't know what that was.
I mean, he hits him in the chest, and the ball's barely out of his hand.
I don't know what that was.
And I'm listening because my streams were failing, so I'm listening to the radio at that point.
Yeah.
And they talked. The refs talked like they were going to. It looked like they were going to pick the flag up, and then they don't. I mean, that was absolutely awful. Jeremy Lee, I have been complaining about the rules and the way this competition committee has screwed the rules up. When I had a podcast with a website, this was a regular topic of mine. The rules committee has made it as difficult to play good, solid defense as possible because you grab a guy in the leg and it's a normal tackle, and they now because of the Brady Bernard Pollard deal, it's a flag, and it's like that's the only time it's dangerous. Like if somebody grabs a guy by his ankles and pulls him down, it's not going to be an injury, hardly ever. What the heck? The rules committee needs to be fired, and they need to have a summit with all new people, and they need to figure out these rules.
But
and players have got to be involved in this too. Players who are playing now have to give up some of their vacation time and be part of this because they're the ones dealing with it, and they're the ones getting screwed by it, especially the defensive players.
My man Glenn, who's not on the show, but I think he's running a little late. But he said the Saints defense has been playing well for the last few weeks. I watched their last two games. They play some bad teams too, though.
I mean, Washington moved the football on them. I think Tress Way only had one punt today.
Yeah, they played the Giants last week, and what was the team before the Giants?
Oh,
I know they played the Giants. That's like not a good offense. I mean, let's keep it being.
Did they beat the Falcons since this guy came in? They're interim guy.
They've been 3-1 since he's been here.
I think they beat I know one of them games. I think they beat the Falcons.
I'm just saying, like they haven't like played the best offenses in the world. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
but they did but they're playing. So I guess you could say they're playing better, but they haven't played like the best offenses in the world. But the way Washington played this game was like atrocious. That's all I'm saying. Like
horrific.
I mean, like atrocious. Like everybody on the D line got to eat. It was wild. Like I know what Paul was saying to a certain extent. Like yeah, some of the sacks were Jay and Holt not throwing the ball away. But some of the sacks they were getting pressure. They were. I think Chase had two. Grant, I want to say Ganderson had like. Was it Granderson?
Cam Jordan had a couple, I think.
Yeah, Cam Jordan had a couple. I mean, Granderson had and they were real sacks. Those are real sacks. Those weren't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they're running out of bounds and they're calling it a sack when it really wasn't.
Those are like real sacks. So I just thought as a whole they didn't play well. But yeah, I know I should be talking positive about this game. Ridgeway had to play in this game. I know I should be positive. I should be like positive. But I'm not really.
It's hard to be.
I don't feel like I'm not in a good mood. Like they really put me in a bad mood.
I mean that's a bad football team who lost good players during the game.
They lost Kamara, bruh.
They
started. I was like, yes. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I was like, yes.
They started a quarterback who they benched down 17-0 because he was rancid. They had 38 yards at halftime. If you hold a team to 38 yards and a half, which, by the way, I can't remember who tweeted it out, but it was the lowest yards and a half that New Orleans had for over 2 decades, since 2002. Yeah. Say it's 38 yards at halftime, you're supposed to win easily, especially when you're up 14-0 and you haven't really even played that well yourself, but you're up 14-0 because Daniels, even in a bad game, is still going to give you some really great throws. And two touchdowns to doggone Terry McLaurin, who they couldn't cover for most of this game today.
Like,
It,
I mean, I
it
ain't gonna
should
lie to
have
you.
been easy. This should have
Terry
been
should
a
have had like
doddle in the
5.
second half.
Terry should have had like 4 touchdowns today. That's just wild.
Yes.
Like Terry to really his drop is on him, but other than that, he could have had like the one deep up the middle, the bomb that he overthrew, and then the
Yep.
bomb they underthrew. Terry could have had like real talk. Like
Yeah.
he could have had a career day today.
Yeah. He could
Oh
have
yeah,
had the.
I
I
do
mean,
want to.
because
Yeah, I do
he
want
could
to
have
say.
had 150. He could have easily had the 150 that people were talking about during the
Yeah,
week.
I will say I want to put like here we go. Despite being 9-5, they aren't that much better than 7-17. Kind of can
That's
agree
true.
with that. I can agree with
I
that, bro.
mean,
I agree with that.
people who are going to definitely be in the playoffs in the NFC will look at this tape. They will look at the Rams tape, and they will pray that Washington keeps the Rams out of the playoffs the way it's gone.
Yeah,
But
true.
we also have to say this. This is as bad as it gets. And one thing about it, we've seen this team play bad and bounce back. We've seen this team play bad and do a lot better. You look at that Cowboys game and how awful that was.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I know Tennessee's terrible.
Go, George.
All those caveats, yes. But they bounced back against Tennessee and played well. And in a sense, they bounced back after the first Giants game and played well in Cincinnati. Let's remember that. We weren't too happy after that Giants game because that wasn't a good game.
But you're not playing the Eagles next. Who are playing the Eagles next, right?
I think we're playing the Eagles next. Well, no, wait a minute. Is that the? Oh no, you're right. I think we are playing the Eagles next. But again, they played well. They played well against the Eagles. If they bounce back and play well next week, they can win that day.
I'm just saying that your point is they bounce back against a meh team. They don't bounce. They're not playing those bounce back games were teams to make you feel good. It's like the homecoming game.
I mean, one of those was Cincinnati on the road.
What's Cincinnati's record right now as a whole?
I think they're 6-8.
They're under 500, right?
Yeah, but they're.
So my point is they're not a good team. All I'm telling you, that's just my point. They're not a good team.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying. No knock on Cincinnati. I think they're offensively they're great, but as a team, not they're a scary team, but they're a very beatable team. Let's put it that way. They're a very beatable team. Darnell said, "Well, he asked me a question. Well, what grade would you give Jay to? A D plus? I wouldn't
go that hard.
I give Jaden a B. I thought Jaden was good. I just thought he missed a couple throws. I don't think Jaden was bad. I don't have that. I don't think Jaden was bad at all. I mean, it's a B plus to me. I blame more Cliff than Jaden, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. Because some of those decisions were him, but again, some of those were bad Cliff plays. Yeah, I'll go a B, sure.
Yeah, B minus, Jeremy. Yeah, B minute. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
We're talking differently if Terry don't drop that pass. I mean, I feel you. The sacks. Yeah, some of us use the sacks would put him. I feel like the sacks. I'm giving him. He would have had an A if it wasn't for the sacks. I'll be real with you. He would have an A to me because the Terry play that was a touchdown, bro. Like Terry dropped that joint. So yeah, he had Terry wide open. Another one that he didn't have to overthrow him. He could have just really just laid that up, and Terry would have caught that one. The one up the middle, that was on Jayden. So, but throwing deep passes aren't it ain't like people got that. Everyone's not super accurate with the deep ball. So it's hard for me to kind of punish him for that because it wasn't like he had some really good throws. In terms of people in intermediate routes. I thought he threaded the needle pretty well, pretty good at certain plays. To Crowder a couple times, to Terry. So there were some good throws. I mean, he held the ball. He did hold the ball. But what Jaden is when he holds the ball, he'll run or he's trying to make a play. I didn't have an issue with the way him holding the ball. He's a rookie too, though. So rookies hold the ball as well. So I don't really get upset and stuff like that. Personally, because I'm fair with that. I feel like rookies have to kind of see how the play is developed, you know what I mean? So when he did hold the ball, I didn't have an issue with it. Santiago said, I think guys were covered downfield, long development plays again. I had folks at the game. I don't think people were open. It just again, I felt like it's easy to say people were open. It just wasn't, and I don't think we threw the ball well. It wasn't like we weren't good at throwing the football. I just had an issue with us. The Saints had one of the worst run defenses, and I felt like at times Cliff was trying to, at certain situations, overly pass the ball. But I guess he felt like there were more guys in the box, so who knows? I'm gonna give Cliff some respect on that note. This point of the season, I can't give him the rookie benefit of the doubt yet. Okay, I respect that.
No, I mean it's fair. He's now played 14 games. You can. That's a fair argument.
Correct, but towards the end, he got sloppy towards the end. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't just him. It was everybody.
It wasn't just him though. I feel like all right, we got two. We all got to understand that coaching plays a part too. Like if your coaching isn't helping you out, then as a player, and I'm not going to even say rookie, as a player, as a quarterback, it's easy to look bad though, or look sloppy if you want to use that term. Because I don't think Cliff did him any favors for real, y'all. I don't think Cliff did him any favors. Before the fan base tries to cook JD5, I will say that he did. He saved us on several plays. He did. That's what I'm saying. Did he miss plays? Of course, but that's a rookie being a rookie. I agree with that.
And I think that's why. I mean, we criticize JD5 some, but most of our criticism is at this coaching staff because this coaching staff did an absolutely horrendous job today.
I think it's easy. I think Taj had a great point. That's a great point though. Like to Taj, like he did save us on a bunch of plays. Like to run up when he ran up the middle and got the first down, he moved the chains. Like he did that. You know what I mean? So I know, and again, that's like it's natural. We take certain things for granted. You know what I mean? Like it's natural. But
he slid today, so no more worried about JD5 can't get down. Perfect slide today. I hope everybody saw that.
Especially too with the offensive line having problems. The left guard, good God, he was getting whipped. Also, Coleman was getting whipped by Chase too. That's like a whole different argument though.
Yeah. I wonder, is Lucas any kind of close to coming back? Because that platoon really worked well, and I think we could use him.
Yeah, it did work well. Because I was like, come on, bro. Like, this is like, my man Chase is lazy. You're working way, like, you can do a little better than this. Perhaps Dan influenced Cliff on play calling. Can't tell who is in charge. I'm going to say, I don't know, man. I know Dan kicking that field goal really pisses me off. That's all I'm on with Dan right now. Him kicking that field goal really pissed me off. Coming out of a bye, Jeremy, I was hoping the run game would look better, even when there wasn't 8 in the box. Yeah, agreed. He said he missed Zach and Noah today, which would be a safety net. I don't think he missed Noah. I think Glenn wants him to miss Noah. I don't think he missed Noah. I'm gonna be real. Like he still found other receivers. Like even Olamide had plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the passing game was an issue. I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, that wasn't the issue. He got the ball out.
I didn't see the final numbers, but at halftime, he was 17 for 19.
Yeah, I don't think the passing game was like – the passing game wasn't an issue. Zach Ertz had that one-handed catch. And, to be real, if he missed anybody, it would be Zach Ertz for real. Because he actually throws the ball to Zach – he throws the ball up the middle to Zach Ertz. You see the numbers, George? I think Georgia got frozen out.
But sorry about that. Sorry about 25 for 31, 226, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think he missed Noah.
I mean, admittedly, that wasn't much in the second half because it was 17 and 19 at halftime.
Yeah, so, but again, that's more play calling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. Bates and Sinat step down. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he hit the plays they ran or typically run. I mean, De'Ami Brown made the Noah play up the middle on that holding call. I will say he missed Noah. I felt like they missed Noah in run block. Or blocking. I think they missed Noah on blocking. I'll say that much. I'm not going to say that Jayden missed Noah throwing the football. It's not a thing like Jayden's percentage wasn't horrible. You know, like it wasn't horrible. I didn't go out there saying like, damn. And Terry was still wide open. So I'm not worried about I'm not worried about Noah if Terry's wide open. What's that like? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't. Noah being out this game isn't like it's not like T Higgins being out. I don't know. Like, it's not like T Higgins being out or something like that. So, but yeah, this was definitely a tough victory. That's why I'm saying that it was a tough victory to watch. You know,
no, it was
happy because if I was lost, I've been way more heated. If they had lost and played good, I've been heated. You know what I mean? I think I lost them.
I mean, the first half I was like not thrilled, but it's like, you know, this is about what I was hoping for. 14-0, moving the football great, dominating the game. The Saints got 1 first down at halftime. I mean, the first half was all right. And then they come out and they drive right down the field in the second half and take a lot of time off the clock. And, okay, I wasn't happy at the goal line, but at 17-0, I'm just like, you know what? This isn't going to be a problem. And it wasn't until it was. So it's just – yeah, I mean, again, and it all started with Benjamin St. Flippin' Juice, Colin Moses.
So I've been real negative in this W, and I always try to be a person of positivity. Let's talk about Marshawn Lattimore, man. Like, your thoughts on the play of Marshawn Lattimore. This man wasn't getting tested. Like, this is the like. Look, like Paul said this right. I mean, Taj, yeah, man. But I love how our new cornerback shut down and have, bruh. The effect was beautiful. Can we say that? I can't really see him matching with AJ Brown, especially because they don't want to throw the ball to AJ. Because Jalen Hurts don't like AJ no more. I don't know. Wild stuff happening. The key with Mikey. The key will be with Mikey and Smith, and Mikey with his interception. Like, and Mikey could have had 2 interceptions. Just first off, let's just talk about that, bro. Let's talk about Lattimore and his impact today.
Oh, look, we've been saying it for a while. This guy was such an upgrade over what else we had that it wasn't even worth talking about, you know. And we knew that once he did get out on the field, you know, yes, he's had injuries, he's missed a lot of games. Mo and other folks have talked about that, but this guy is still one of the better corners in the league. There ain't no question about it in my mind. And he completely. I mean, they didn't even try. Like, I think, Valdez-Scantling might have had 1 catch in the first half, because I assume that's who Lattimore was on, and he might have had 1 or 2 other targets. They weren't fooling with him at all. They were not fooling with him whatsoever. And, you know, better offenses and better quarterbacks are going to test him, and we're going to find out with Philadelphia next week. Okay, that's going to be a different situation, but you see what a luxury it is. They did a pretty good job on Kamara in terms of running the football, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game they couldn't stop the run, but they stopped the run early in the game because they could pay more attention to it. It's so great to have Marshawn Lattimore on this field. It's just unbelievable.
I'm gonna talk about Lattimore, but I want to read this question. I'm gonna give you this question. He said, "So if they had started Rattler for the whole game, would we have won?"
I'm gonna say yes for this reason, because we would have been, because you know how it is when you're preparing and you know Jay Kaner's going to be the starter. That's who you're preparing for. They would have been way better prepared for Spencer Rattler.
True.
If Spencer Rattler was the starter, and let's remember, Spencer Rattler's numbers weren't all that special.
But he made
he made some throws. He did. There's no question about it. But he's also a turnover machine. And with more volume, there would have been more turnovers. And by the way, A.J. Brown just got a touchdown. So maybe him and Hurts have all kissed and made up now.
No, they didn't know. It's okay, though. Had to throw the ball eventually. He's too good not to throw the ball, too. Don't worry. When something bad happens, like you said, George, when something bad happens, they'll be pissed off at each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm gonna answer that question, then I'm gonna talk about Lattimore. I'm with you. I'm with you and Paul. I think Paul said it in the chat. I think that when you have to prep for somebody else, it's totally different. You prep for Rattler, then you're gonna probably the game plan for the defense will be a little different. But yeah, back to Lattimore though. It was just great to see a guy not being tested, you know, and then limited St. Juice to action on the field. That's to a point where I was mad when he had that holding call. I said, why is he on the field? Why is he like, we got Noah, we don't need you, we got Mikey. You just, because when I saw St. Juice on special teams, I got hyped. When I saw him on teams, I was like, oh yeah, they got you there now. Yes, that is amazing. You're on teams. Yes. And that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be playing teams. Amazing. And then he got the opportunity to play. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that play happened. But no, Lattimore
was anybody surprised when you heard that penalty? Illegal use of the hands, and they said 25, I thought.
Yeah, you know the crazy thing about it is though, bro? The crazy thing, and I'm gonna be real, like you can. Martin didn't even do nothing, bro. The person who was I ain't gonna lie to you. The person who was getting beat was as was Chin. Jeremy Chin was getting beat, bro. Like watch the game, T11. Jeremy Chin was getting beat, and I like Jeremy Chin, but he was getting beat. So watch.
Jeremy
Go back and watch.
Chin was sitting there waiting for that interception
Yeah,
instead of going to get the ball.
Martin didn't do nothing wrong at safety. Now you see, I love you, T11, but sometimes you be looking at people you just want to go at. It was Jeremy Chin getting beat. He got beat by Kamara on the slant. No, not Kamara. He got beat by was it Kamara on the? No, that was Luvu. Luvu was on Kamara, but he got beat on the D pass. He misplayed that D pass again. Like something about him misplaying. Yeah, there we go. Yes, yeah. Something about Chin and coverage is not good. He missed, at all. So it ain't Martin. I think you need to like look at Jeremy Chin. It's not Martin at all.
As soon as Rattler threw that pass, I thought it was going to be.
Because he had
I couldn't believe it when it was caught.
He misplayed it. He had the pick. He just misplayed it. Like I don't know if he don't know how to locate the football, but it's like. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to my guy. Let me go back to my guy, Lattimore. Yeah, it's Chin. Yeah, T11. Everybody's saying it was Chin. You got us. Yeah. Martin was playing well. Yeah, thank you. Come on, bro. All right. So back to what I'm talking about Lattimore. It's just refreshing to have somebody like take care of the rest of the field. St. Juice. Move St. Juice to free. You tripping. Move St. Juice to home. You tripping.
Move St. Juice to Canada.
That man came and look. You talking about bro, see, you be happy. See, we cool. How you gonna try and move a dude who got no ball skills to free safety? What we doing? He can't catch either. Anyway, I'm back on mine. I'm back on mine right now. Like, yo, man, 25 or we is yo, boy, your man is 25 or we you think he's St. Juice? Nah, he ain't St. Juice though.
No, D Mitty. That's who it is.
That's D Mitty, bro. But like,
nah. DH is gonna give it to him the next time they're together on a podcast. Oh God!
My man, I'm trying to talk to my man.
There you go, Jeremy Lee. Yes.
Section of Wegmans.
Yes.
For real, bro. For real. I know what you saying, burner account. I know exactly what you're saying. Nah. That's T. I know TST. That's my man, but that's not. Nah. Moves practice squad. That's keeping him on the team. Well, he should actually talk real talk. All jokes aside, I ain't trying to take away someone's money. Yeah, he need to be moved to the practice squad though. He need to be moved. All right? Yeah, he do. Like I ain't gonna try to take your money away from you, Say Juice. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. So when the illegal contact play happened, I was like, is that Lattimore? Because I saw the person up close in the bump and run. I was like, damn, Lattimore about to get his hands on him. Because I was not thinking that was St. Juice. Right? I ain't gonna hold you. And then I was like, when they said penalty, I was like, yes. I said Lattimore is handsy. Like he is a physical corner. So they're gonna call it. All right, he'll probably get this penalty. But when I heard 25, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, you put this fool on the field?
I thought I was gonna hit this. I thought I was gonna hit the roof.
Yo, when I heard that 25, I was like, oh, that was you? I was like, bruh, we can't. No, we're not doing that. Like, yo, that man needs to not be on the football field no more, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. He needs to not be on the football field. I know they love him. God bless him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he shouldn't be on the football field no more. He just
and everybody's got to remember the context. Yeah. It sacked the quarterback on third down. They were going to be punting from, I think, might have even been inside their own 10-yard line.
Yep.
Would have been definitely inside their own 20. It's 17-0. I think it's halfway through it's way past halfway through the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
This game is simple from there. They're going to probably score again, and they're probably going to cruise home.
I'm with you, man, Jeremy. I saw enough already because I've seen St. Juice. I've seen other bad corners. I want to sign this dude to an extension because you saw the impact. It's all about the impact of what this dude brings to the table. My man Mikey had a pick off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like Mikey can now do more things. Noah was even better. Like Noah was good. Noah on that they tried to say a PI. Like Noah, that wasn't even close to pass interference in the end zone. He played it right. He played that right. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Like this man played this right. Yo, stop it. Trading Bowie State. What we doing here?
No, don't do that to Bowie State. Don't do that to the Bulldogs.
Bowie State probably they got better corners than him. What were you doing?
Don't do that to
Like,
do that to the Bulldogs.
You want to downplay? Look, don't do that to my HBCUs, bro.
Exactly.
Don't do that to my HBCUs, bro. Don't do that to him.
You want to trade him to a Division III school? We can do that.
So you said though, Paul's agreeing with you, George, that that play did change.
It did. But yeah, I mean, again, the game's not over yet, but it was going to be over because they're going to punt. Washington's going to get it in good field position. Mm-hmm. I would bet anything they would have gone down and scored again. If that's 20-0 or 24-0, the fourth quarter is a snoozer.
Yeah,
and we would have probably been on the air about 20 minutes earlier than what we were.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But I agree. I just think that St. Juice. I think Lattimore. Like, I knew he would be good. I just didn't know it would be like this. Like, and
I can't wait to see him next week when he gets a big test.
I know I shouldn't be like over the moon right now because against the Saints and they didn't have their weapons. We didn't see Chris Olave. We didn't see
Shaheed
or anything like that. But I'm just going off of what we've seen with this secondary with other individuals who I felt like shouldn't be doing work against us. And this was good. Like, this was good. It was way better. Like, this is way better. 26. Okay, and 26 needs to be inactive. Yeah, McNichols was not good to me. I thought he ran dumb.
Again, why? What is going on when Chris Rodriguez can have two really good games, and then you just give him nothing? And that's a coaching thing.
Yeah.
And whether he's a Ron guy or not, he's produced for you.
Yeah.
I'll give McNichols this. McNichols was really good in blitz pickup, which is why he's on the field, but so is Chris Rodriguez.
Yes, so is Chris Rodriguez.
So there's no drop off there. Chris Rodriguez needs to be out there.
I'm not saying, look, when I say this, and I'm not even saying it to a point where, it's good in big split. I'm not saying it to a point where not to play McNichols. I'm not even saying that. You can play him. I'm just saying play Chris Rodriguez too. That's my point. Like,
yes,
just play him too. Because if you've shown that you were productive when you're out there, you gave him one carry. McNichols ain't that much. And I'm saying this real. McNichols, you can say Rodriguez is better or whoever, but I'm gonna say it this way: McNichols ain't that much better than Rodriguez for him not to get carries. Let me say it that way. So I don't look at it that way. So that's what annoyed me. Is like, dude, give him carries. But I'm staying positive. I'm trying to stay positive. My other positive would be I had another positive. I forgot about it now.
I definitely got one. So just kick return game today. Luke,
McCaffrey, good.
Jamison Crowder, even McNichols.
Back too. Go ahead.
Luke, Jamison Crowder, McNichols all had good returns. One of the reasons Washington dominated that first half, they had the field totally tilted in their favor. They were constantly starting beyond the 30-yard line. And with our offense, you give us beyond the 30-yard line, I'm giving us at least a better than 50% chance of scoring because we don't go 3 and out a lot, and and we've got an aggressive coaching staff that if it's 4th and short, we're going to go for it, and we get it. We're 13 of 15. I think maybe we're better than that now, but we were 13 of 15 on 4th down. So the kick return game was solid. Tressway dropped him inside the 10, and if he'd have got another chance to do so, probably would have done so. And really, outside of Greg Joseph, freaking pushing that kick right, special teams was really good today, but the kick return game might actually be a positive asset, which if that's the case, that could be huge for this team down the stretch because, to pull off a win against the Eagles, who you're going to be an underdog against, you sometimes need something like that. You need a big advantage in field position, or you need a special play like that in your special teams.
No, I agree. I just think that when you look at what I'm at McCaffrey, I thought he did a great job at kickoff return.
Mm-hmm. Use him.
I thought he was amazing. So I'm with you on that one. I'm with you that. And also, George, I think you'll like this. Defoe got a lot of burn, bro.
Yeah,
Defoe had a lot of burn.
I was glad to see that.
They stopped playing Percy Butler over him. So now they playing Defoe over Percy Butler. So that was a good thing.
I mean,
that was a good thing.
All we were asking is if players aren't producing, give the other guy a try. And if he's the best player, play him, whether he's your guy or not.
Yeah.
That's all we're at. That's all we've been asking all year. Because we've had these frustrations with a lot of different players this year.
Yeah, here goes Todd. Todd said another positive is that Terry gave the Eagles more to worry about. I like how Cliff is moving him around. I do like that. I'll give Cliff some flowers. He's doing a good job moving Terry around. A great job.
You know what? I'm sure the Eagles will be running their mouth about Quinyanamo Bay this and Quinyanamo Bay that. We'll see about that next week.
Yeah, but especially when you get to move him around, though, you won't get to like this. You can't just key in on him. Jeremy said, I wish the team had a true fullback to help us with the run, help us run the ball better late in games with the lead. I would like that. I think they should use Ben Sinnott a little bit more in that situation because he played fullback in Kansas. He's really a fullback. He played in Kansas State. Darnell Brown said it. This is why I think the coaches are not on the same page when it comes to playing Rodriguez. Kind of agree with that because I just feel like there's something up with that. Positives. Another Paul has a positive. 23. Talking about Lattimore, Noah, and also Ignagby. I don't know Ignagby, and also my man Mikey are the only positives today. Yeah, they played well. They played well. They played well at cornerback. They did it.
I got to tell you something. Mikey Sainristil, and look, he's gotten burned a few times himself. I'm excited by Mikey Sainristil's growth and his continued improvement. And look, it gives us a chance against Philadelphia, against those great receivers, because I don't think they're going to have Goddard next week because I know he's injured.
Yeah.
It gives us a chance to have Mikey and Marshall and Lattimore on those guys because that's who should be on those guys, honestly.
I like this, Taj, man. So with Lattimore and Mikey, this could be our best combo. Yeah, combo since Springs and Rogers or Smoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I don't think D Hall's with who? Who was D Hall with? It could be. It's definitely up there. I'm not Bo Nix. I'm not watching Colts game. Let's say Jeremy says Walker and McGee at Linebacker was a plus. I don't like Walker, but I want to play McGee more. They didn't. They provided good depth with Louisville and Wagner. Had to go out. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I want to see McGee out there more though. Walker got beat on the play with well, I'm not mad at Walker. He shouldn't have been on that. He shouldn't have been on that play. He got beat on that seam route play with Kamara. He should have been on Kamara one-on-one. I knew it was happening. As soon as I saw the play, I was like, they're going to Kamara. I saw it as like just a spectator. I was like, I know it. Then any simple defensive coordinator knows it. And that definitely the offensive coordinator knew it. So Todd said another positive is Wagner. He was solid. He was solid in Louisville. Louisville was okay. Louisville was okay. Wagner was good.
I'm still gonna be thinking about that dropped INT because that would have put a stop to it right there too.
Yeah.
It's like
Doris Armstrong, man, had like 2.5 sacks. He was good. He was everywhere. He had constant pressure. So I'm gonna give flowers to Doris Armstrong. He played pretty well. But yeah, I was all in all, man. Like I thought Jaden was fine. Like I'm not hard on Jaden. I thought Jaden was cool. You know, I mean, and I'm pretty like if Jaden wasn't good, I know I'm fair when it comes to like assessing like the quarterback. Jaden was good to me.
Most of our ire is directed at the coaching staff, and I think rightfully
I thought
so.
they were trying to set him up. Like they're trying to make him do something that he doesn't need to. Like he didn't need to do. Like, but yeah, I don't like. I guess my issue was like I know Coach Quinn was mad. You could tell he wasn't feeling it at half. He's like, we just got to play better football, and I'm like, bro, you part of it though. Like I don't like when people are like, you part of it. Like that. Like the least you can do is put if you know your team ain't. It ain't gonna be that type of day. Like, dog, you kicking that like that field goal really. I don't know why it annoys me. Like, I just feel like
it's because
thing in the world. Like, why would you kick that field goal with a kicker that wasn't like you weren't really keen on really having out there to be your kicker, and he wasn't really that great anyway. And he wasn't great. Like once he missed that extra that kick, that 41-yard kick initially when the clock ran out, I was like, oh, he not built like that. And then you gonna have him kick a 54-yard kick? Come on, that was just.
Like you're being pragmatic and playing the percentages. If you pooch punt it there and do it correctly, you drop them inside the 10. Which again, Tressway had already done that earlier in the game, and he's one of the best at doing it. You know, if that's a 92-yard drive instead of a 56-yard drive, I don't think Rattler's getting them down there for a touchdown. Honestly.
So why didn't Coach DQ call the timeout before the last touchdown they scored? The touchdown. Why didn't he score? When's the last
He
touchdown?
called a timeout I know he called a timeout before the 2-pointer. And I'm trying to remember. I thought he called a timeout on one of those plays on that drive. I could be wrong about that.
They scored. Oh, he's talking about the why? Oh, to get set, to get ready. He didn't call a time. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Actually, that is a good question. That is to get his defense set to what they were doing. Like call a timeout, see the play, then call a timeout. He didn't do that, right? I don't think he did do that.
I thought he called a timeout, like just as they were coming out of their alignment for the 2-point play.
Did he? Okay.
He definitely called a timeout there. And then they went to that, and then the Saints, for whatever reason, went to that goofy sprint out. Why anybody runs that play for a 2-pointer, I don't understand.
You said before. He said before. He said before. Why didn't he call a timeout before the last? Okay, that makes sense.
No, and that's fair. That's fair too. Sorry, right, and by the way, there was some shenanigans. Can we bring this up? There was some shenanigans because that clock stopped. That clock stopped for at least 2 seconds, maybe 3. I'm not even sure they should have got that last play. I don't know. And yes, it stopped because he's down at the 1. They don't have a timeout. It's inbounds. That clock stopped for it because I'm watching the clock and I'm watching because I actually got the stream to work at this point.
Oh,
I'm watching the clock. I'm watching the play clock move and the other clock wasn't. It was at least 2 seconds. It might have been 3.
You saw when he clocked it, when they clocked it, right?
When they clocked it for 3 seconds left.
You got you.
There was shenanigans there. There at least 2 of them for at least 2 seconds, may have been 3, because I was watching the play clock and the game clock.
He agreeing with you.
It did. It stopped, and again, somebody should have alerted Dan Quinn to that, and that should have been reviewed.
Yeah,
that should have been reviewed.
Yeah, okay. I
am not sure that they even got the clock play off. But the other commenter is right. At that point, once they clock it, you might as well take a timeout.
Yeah, like let them come out and then see the play and then call a timeout. I told you.
No, but there was shenanigans at the end of that game. I don't know if any, and that's the other thing. The TV guys mentioned it briefly. I will give them credit there. They at least mentioned that. But the NFL, Dan Quinn's got to say something to the NFL, and that's got to be addressed because that clock stopped, and there was no reason for it. It wasn't like they were laying on. Like if you're delaying and laying on top of the ball on the players so they can't get up, they'll do that. That's not what was happening here. And again, there was at least 2 or 3 seconds that didn't run off that should have. If it's 2, they would have still got the clock off and still had one more play. If it was 3, the clock should have been out, and that game should have been over.
All right, I'm gonna put like I normally do. I'm gonna put in the link to the stream, so for folks to comment. It's probably get like a minute to comment. You see the link, just copy and paste it, or click the link, and then feel free to comment. I'll give you like a minute, and then we'll just to comment, and we'll shoot the breeze, and I'll have the next person. If another person wants to comment, the same thing. All right, y'all, it's open. All right, but for me, yeah, I think that makes sense though. That's a good point though. Like calling the timeout. They should have called the timeout. I was just so mad. I was just so heated in the moment. I ain't going to lie to you. I was just mad it got to this situation. I ain't going to hold you. I was just so pissed off. Personally, I was just pissed off. I was like, what are we doing here? But my man Darnell had a question. He said, what grade are you giving Quinn in this game? Oh, I'm giving Quinn a D. I'm gonna be tough. I'm giving him a D. And I really want to go. I'm giving him a D. Like I don't think he managed this game, because to me, coaches, that's your job. Your job is to manage the game. I'm giving him a flat out D. What about yourself?
I am being a gentleman here because they won. He gets a C. Okay. He gets a gentleman C because they won. Like I don't think you can give somebody a D if you win, because you did win the game. And whatever criticisms that we have, and they're all legitimate, whatever criticisms our commenters have, they're all legitimate. They did win, so I can't drop them lower than a C. They're very lucky to get that C. It's the old gentleman C, as they like to say in college.
If you barely beat a high school team, you can still get a C.
Look,
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, is that like a curve? Is that the curve? You still get a C? If you
I mean,
high school team?
They didn't lose, and they haven't blown the playoffs yet.
Okay,
So
I'm just saying because
giving them
according to folks, you say a win allows you to get a seed. I'm just
Yes.
saying if you beat a
a
high
win
school team,
allows
that's
you to
to
get
get
a
a seed.
seed. That's the
Okay.
only reason they get a seed.
All right. I was always okay. My man Paul online, so I'm gonna put my man Paul out here.
All right,
What's going
Paul.
on, homie? What's
Welcome,
going on?
Paul.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much. Just sitting here listening to everybody. Everybody has great comments in the chat, along with you too. I took all the emotion out of it now. And I always say this: this team they're learning to win, and they just gotta learn to play with a more consistent sense of urgency. And to your point, George, earlier, that's why they play they have a good game coming back the next week. Well, you got to be consistent every week of how your effort and how your play is.
I agree.
This game is a prime example. I mean, they won, 9-5, great, but next week, you can't depend on them to play great against the Eagles. This is a different type animal.
Yeah.
So they're and the reason I always say they're immature is because they just can't keep up that same level of intensity like they did against the Titans 2 weeks ago. So
that's my problem. Is that just Paul? We talk about this all the time, right? Like every game, but you gotta be like when you play these games, you gotta be prepping for the best team or one of the best teams, right? So you play this game like you're playing the better team. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's crazy. We talked about this last episode, on pregame, but it's the truth. The reason why Joe Gibbs always like Redskin Jesus, man. It's Redskin Jesus to me. The reason why Joe Gibbs, even 2.0, if you ever go back and watch 2.0, when he played a bad team, he smacked the bad team. The reason why he smacked the bad team because he respected that opponent. He treated that bad team like that team was the Patriots, or like that team was the Eagles, or like that team was one of the better teams in the league at that time, or the Rams. He treated that team like it was that team. That's why he smacked that team. So his teams were prepared. They weren't like sloppy in the body. They were prepared. They played a clean game. So yeah, like that competition, that competition is going to see the best version of the Redskins at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my issue with this team. Like when you're playing against and that's what I liked about this team in the beginning of the season, to be real with you. When they played a bad team, they smacked the bad team consistently. It was a clean football game. They smacked them. The Titans was that way. That was a bad team. They smacked the Titans. But now we're getting points in the season where they're playing teams that are struggling, but they letting these teams, the Giants in New York, that was a game that should have been smacked. That team didn't want to win. They were trying to get into the Travis Henry, Shador Sanders neighborhood. That's what they trying to get into. You like this Saints team, they lost everybody. The Saints had nobody out there. All right. You know what I'm saying? And we're like we're keeping them in the game. So I'm just like, to be honest with you, like I'm with you. I need to see that consistency. I need you to treat like, yeah, that team is bad, but respect that opponent. Respect them to a point where you see them as, yo, you can beat us. You see them as, hey, you the Eagles. You the Eagles, because we prepping for the Eagles. We want to, like, you still got to believe that you want to take the division regardless of what we all think. You the Eagles. We're going to play y'all like y'all the Eagles. You do that, then you don't have this type of, like, this type of performance.
Exactly. Totally agree with you. They just got to be more consistent with that. And now you're going to see a total different energy level from them next Sunday.
Yeah.
They know who they're playing. They know they could get embarrassed. See, that's the threat where I think Joe was brilliant at. I don't think Dan gives this team a sense that this team can embarrass you.
Yeah.
Even though Joe used to come on and say, they'll play a 1-11 team. Yeah, they're tough.
Exactly.
And Joe would tell you we need the fans behind us. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, but they 1-11. But
exactly.
They'll come out. We'll come out and smack them.
We smack them. That's what I'm saying. Like, you respect. He would have you, like, he would have his team mentally think like, yo, this is like, this team is just as good as us.
Right.
That's how Joe would have you think. Like, this team is just as good as us.
And this coaching staff, to me, doesn't have them thinking that way.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, you can see why the play caller. You can see how
exactly. That's my point.
I mean, why would you? I mean, if you Joe Witt and your team is dominating on defense, why would you put 25 on the field? What's the point?
Facts. No, for real, because you're trying to make him feel good about himself.
So true, though.
No, it's because you're trying to make 25 feel good about himself, but there's no need to put him out there. No, real talk.
I'm not in the business of making you feel good. I'm in the business of
I agree with you,
bro.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So that's my thing. But hey, Paul, man, thanks for being on, bro. Always
No problem,
appreciate
man.
you.
See y'all.
Always appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
And I would, and to add to Paul's point and your point, I would be pretty sure that 25 did not see the field after that play the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm just It's just with my man Taj, my Mr. Gear Sales said the refs where Landover for red skinny G. He's hey, chill out, dog.
No, and I want to, and the reason here's the reason why I actually feel good about how they're going to come out against the Eagles game, because look at the situation. They had just lost an absolute killer to the Steelers. Punishing game, difficult loss. They had a 13-point lead, lost the lead. They could have been flat as attack in that game and gotten their doors blown off. Instead, the defense played one of its best performances of the year for 3 quarters. The offense struggled, but Washington was in the football game up in Philadelphia, and you could at least say win, lose, or draw, even if you were mad about the loss, they represented the jersey up there like they're supposed to. I really do think they're going to give us the right kind of effort against Philadelphia next week, but it goes to what you and Paul said, that it's hard to look at those efforts and be happy when you have lost the efforts they had against Dallas and New Orleans today. Because yes, anybody can get up for the big teams, but if you're a great team, you treat the little teams with respect and you stomp them out and you beat their brains in, like the Lions have been doing almost this entire year. They have been doing that.
It's almost to the point like you can see that the terms of the track record. Now they've been losing the games that you're referring to, you're referencing, but they've played pretty well against the good teams. They just lost, like the Ravens. Ravens competitive. They're competitive against the Ravens. They were competitive against the Steelers. They're competitive against the Eagles. So the teams that they've had on the schedule, Tampa, no, like they weren't competitive against Tampa. But that was the first game of the season though, so I'm not gonna that's no different. But you still want that effort against everybody. That's the thing. And at the beginning of the season, to me, they were given that type of effort. I don't want to say they weren't putting effort. That's not fair to say. But they were playing as if they were playing, like when they played a bad team, it was if they were playing those teams. You know what I mean? Like,
and what's also disturbing is you don't expect that with a team that's got the veteran leadership that we have.
We do.
I mean, and that's where I kind of wonder. You know, if Bobby Wagner gave a speech before, like, what was it, the Tennessee game, and his team came out and played the way they were when they were 7-2. Maybe Bobby Wagner needs to get in a few people's ears, and maybe even needs to rhetorically put his foot up a few people's rear ends, because you just don't expect that kind of an effort off a bye against a team you absolutely have to beat if you're going to go to the playoffs. And I didn't expect that from this team, because there's too many quality guys on this team and too many veterans. You shouldn't be doing that.
I got a comment from a man off the line TV 124 said, run more halfback sweeps instead of having Jayden scramble so much to the sideline. I agree with that too. I feel like he's doing too many sweeps. Or going to I feel like he's doing too many. I don't like his inside runs. I didn't even like the play to Diami when he got hurt. I was like, don't run him like a running back. Stop running receivers like a running back. It's not a good look. Like, run them every once in a while, but not to a point where
if you're not Debo size,
there you go. That's my
like
point.
That.
It's not like Debo Samuel size. Then what are we doing here? Yeah, you did. Glenn said this. Yeah, totally agree. What did Todd say? Said, what y'all say, it makes sense, but to be fair, other than Wagner, we had some young guys at key positions. But I felt like Joe had all them young dudes. When he had Joe had them guys playing a certain way. I think we could use the age thing, and that's cool. I'm not against that, Taj, but I'm also thinking it's an in-house. It's how you coach it up, like when you respect your opponent. Because I felt like they coached like they didn't respect their opponent. It's not even the players; it's the way they coach like they didn't respect their opponent. Like, for instance, like that whole series to milk the clock. Jayden doing the wide receiver screen that was an incomplete pass that stopped the clock. Like, those are play calls. You don't do that. Like, just run the ball. Like, you talking about trust your defense, run the ball. Or Jayden doing a play action, then just on the 1 yard line rather than getting the ball to Brian Robinson Jr. That's coaching. That's like you're coaching, not respecting your opponent. So that's not like players. That's not being young or old. That's coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect your opponent. That's all I'm saying. Like, and I just feel like they brought that out there. So, oh yeah, experience. Yeah, the same thing. I think Todd's saying the same thing. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. But yeah, we still won. We're 9-5. We should all be happy. We should be merry. I should be merry. I should be happy.
Well, no, but we can at least acknowledge that and be relieved that they're 9-5 and they didn't lose this game and possibly throw the playoffs away in the process.
Look, man, now I'm just like, now every game to me matters. Like, I mean, all of it matters, but now every game to me is, I'm at a point where there's no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee.
No.
I'm not gonna come out here and say agreed. Yeah, thanks, Dodge. Yeah. I have to run to the ball with milking when milking the clock. Yeah, you have to run the ball. They didn't. They chose to They threw throwing weird passes. Yeah. It's like, again, if you respect your opponent, you run the ball. And like, you run the ball, you milk the clock. You give them like 50 seconds, and then you punt the ball over. Right? You punt the ball. They gotta go. Like I said, they gotta do Joe Montana, John Elway to drive. Like, Rattler has to be that type of dude. You win the game. There's no extra work. Respect your opponent. Just respect your opponent. But you're kicking a 54-yard field goal, and you're throwing the ball. You're throwing the ball and giving the team additional clock. It's like you want to lose the game. And yeah, you could say the quarterback Jaden was inaccurate with that screen pass and threw it behind, but don't put Jaden in that position. How about not putting Jaden in that position? Great. Anything can happen. Say Jaden threw the ball and the dude tipped it, and then it's an incomplete too. That's just, in essence, it's still your fault because you called the play. So I'm just saying, like, respect your opponent. I just feel like they're going to go in there, and some people will go and blame like players, but they need to blame themselves. Them coaches need to look themselves in the mirror. You know,
I'd be interested to see what kind of questions were asked.
Yeah.
After in the post-game presser, and certainly Monday and Tuesday, and really the Cliff Kingsbury press conference this week is going to be real interesting because there should be some hard questions lobbed at him for some of this that went on today.
Cliff needs to, and Dan too. I'm gonna be real. I've been a fan of Dan, but Dan needs that kicking that field goal because it's the coach's decision on field goals.
Yeah, that's true.
Decision. So he has to, like, they have to ask him the tough questions, knowing that should you have trusted your defense in that situation? Do you trust your defense over Spencer Rattler to drive the length of the field to score a touchdown? Do you trust your defense to stop him before that? You know what I mean? Because to your point, I would say, like, you give Spencer Rattler that much space, that long of a time to throw the football, I bet you will throw an interception. Game would have been over easily. You know what I'm saying? So can't run the ball when your O-line isn't blocking well. Need linemen with PFF grades of 70 and above. I agree. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying at that time you run the football. I don't even think that it doesn't even matter because you're clocking, you're wasting time. You're making them use timeouts, and then you can still push punt it, and they have to move the length of the field with no timeouts, and maybe, if anything, of highest 120 seconds to less than a minute left.
And again, Tressway's dropped them down there already. And he's one of the best punters this team's ever had.
Yeah, worse, you're starting from the 10-yard line with no timeouts. Come on. This is not even a thing. Like, we'd be pissed off more about, we could have played better, but not to a point where they could have beat us. Like, really could have beat us. Like, we'd have been pissed off the game was 2013. You know what I mean? That's what we would have been at. But instead, we had to have a heart attack game.
And again, you put a quarterback like Rattler near their own goal line, they are more likely to make a mistake.
Exactly.
They just are.
Yeah. So that's just more, to me, that was a little, that whole, even, I'm gonna be real with you, even the end of the half with Dan Quinn calling the timeout, I'm like, we were starting, I was like, why? And then he was really throwing the balls. Like, say Jayton, there was a fluke turnover.
Oh,
why would you risk that?
Yeah, that was bizarre what they did there.
Yeah, it was just real shot. It was just a weird coach game, for real. It was a weird coached game. And I don't know what was going on. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't know what was going on. And I just felt like all around, even things that went right weren't to me, some of the things weren't the smartest things in this game. But all right, folks, who gets the game ball? Let's go there. Who gets the game ball?
Jeez, because we've been so negative. You know what? I'm going to give the game ball to Dorrance Armstrong.
He balled.
Big pressure, dominant first half. What did he had? 2.5 sacks or 2 sacks?
Yeah,
I'll give him the game ball.
I'm gonna give this guy the game ball because he came back to his former team. He shut down a whole side. I'm giving the ball to Lattimore, man.
There you go.
Lattimore gets the game ball. Terry, that drop kind of messed me up. I would have gave it to Terry, but that drop kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna lie to y'all. And y'all know I'm a big Terry supporter, but that drop kind of pissed me off. And I don't have Terry in any fantasy league, so I want people to know, so it's not like off some fancy football thing. But yeah, Terry dropping that ball, I'm like, come on, Terry. But hey, who's y'all game? Who gives y'all game? Y'all game ball? Who y'all give it to? I'm here. I'm gonna take some of y'all and display some of your comments. Who do you give the game ball to before we end the show? I'm giving y'all a chance.
Yeah.
Then we going close up shop. No game ball.
Game ball. I was gonna say, and you're gonna give another game ball to all them Commanders fans in New Orleans because they were loud.
Oh yeah, great job
throughout the game.
Yeah, great job.
You can hear defense. You can hear defense chants at the end of the game.
Some game balls to some weird people. Fowler. I mean, he did he gets some game ball. You get some weird people, bro. Fowler gets game ball. All right. 23, my man Paul, yeah. And Mikey, yeah.
There you go. I like it. I like it, Paul.
And Mikey. Who broke up? Yeah, who did break up that play? Who broke up this?
I honestly couldn't tell because that was such a bad throw.
It was a bad throw.
It just felt like it was. It felt like it was going out of bounds no matter what.
Mikey, I want to say it was Mikey, but I'm sure I'm wrong. I want to say it was Mikey, or it might be Mikey or a line or a safety. It's Mikey or a safety. I want to say it's Mikey though. But I could be wrong though.
That's one of those things I could play that if they'd have put the darn game. I still can't believe they put Cowboys Panthers on at the last minute down here.
Oh, nobody. He didn't catch it. Oh no, it was 22. I thought so. It was Defoe. Well, wait, Defoe was in Noah. Todd's saying it was Noah. I thought it could have been. I thought it can't be because Noah would be on the other side. It had to be Defoe, right? I thought it was Defoe. Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that because I'm sure they're going to show it on the football night in America. I'm going to be looking for that.
Noah will be on the other side. Oh yeah, I like this one. Same thing with George. Yeah, Dorrance Armstrong. He balled though. He did.
Yeah.
He did ball. He balled. Yeah, he managed the game. Jane was good. I thought Jane was good. I'm not anti. I thought Jane was good. You saying Glenn's saying it was Noah? You sure?
I'm going to be watching Football Night in America just for that highlight to see. I want to see because they'll show it. I'm sure they'll show it.
You know what? We're gonna make this real easy right now, Joe.
Are you gonna?
I can see it now.
All right.
I can see it. I can see it right now.
I'm still mad that they changed it out. I literally recorded this thing on Monday when I saw it was going to be Washington, New Orleans, and they changed it to Dallas, Carolina. Down here, I could absolutely strangle the people at Fox 35.
Actually, I probably did now. They ain't showing them. They're not showing my thing. But yeah, who was it? Y'all let me know. Noah. It was Noah. It was Noah. All right. Okay. Noah. All right. Thank y'all. It's Noah.
Way to go, Noah Igbenogany.
That's the good night. He's the good Nigerian.
Yes.
Noah is the good Nigerian.
Poor old Olamide had a touchdown, got taken away by a penalty.
I mean,
that was awesome. At least they got a touchdown later anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Noah sucks. I'm glad he didn't score a touchdown. He doesn't deserve it. Noah doesn't deserve a touchdown.
No, I'm talking about Olamide got a touchdown.
I know he doesn't. I said he don't deserve one. I'm glad they took it away. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it at all. What are we doing here? All right, Noah, man. All right, good job. Noah all right. He said get Noah a game ball. Noah played well too. He did play well. He played very well. Noah did. He played very, very well. All right, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. You know me. We'll be back here. We'll back at it on Thursday for our regular podcast, our live podcast. Then we'll have our pre and post game show on Sunday. Actually, I have a recap show for the Urban Sports thing. So y'all want to pull up for that one. I got one at 7:30. So y'all can pull up for that as well. So if y'all on here, folks, y'all who's here, some of y'all go on the Urban Sports and we'll have a recap show. I'll have my man DH on for the recap.
Wow, okay.
So we'll be on here. We'll shoot the breeze. This is when I get to decompress it. So you won't hear me now act all ignorant or angry or whatever. I'll be cool. I mean, I'll probably get to see some highlights of certain things so I can go back, hear some reporters, and kind of get into it, man. Hey, man, Darnell, I appreciate you, homie.
Thank you, Darnell.
Appreciate you, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. When y'all hit the compliments, I stay appreciated. I'm not like one of them people be like, just say it just to say it. I do truly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So, because I feel like it ain't our show. Like, you know, George, myself, Glenn, even Mo on Thursdays. I feel like it's everybody's show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody, like people in the chat, like all of y'all. Y'all are the show. For real talk, I'll put y'all over me, like myself, be real with you. Like y'all are the show. So I do appreciate y'all. Todd said it was Noah, just looked at it. Yeah.
All right.
It's cool, man. I told him,
God bless him.
You winning, man. He gonna have some jollof rice after the game. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Get the jollof. Get the jollof. That's what I'm talking about, Noah. Get the jollof. So you deserve it. You had a pass breakup and you had the game winning play. Yeah, 7:30. Yeah, Paul. Yeah. So hey, y'all coming. Yeah, appreciate you, bro. 7:30, we back out. We outside. Yeah, get the jollof rice. Get the jollof rice. Get it. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Oh man, thank you, man. Man, appreciate you, homie. Really do.
Thank you, Darnell.
Really do appreciate you. All right, man. Anyway, before we jet out of here, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also hit us on X at ABG_everything, and hit us up on IG at ABG_everything, and also TikTok too at ABG_everything as well. Make sure if you're on here, if you're new to the channel, hit that red subscribe button. Also like this video and comment as well. Comment on this video too. If you comment, you like this video, it just boosts us on the YouTube Commanders algorithm. So when folks have that, you know, referred to type of thing, or you may like this type of video, we're on that algorithm. So make sure you, if you have an opportunity, just hit the like button. And also hit that red subscribe, and also have a little comment. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say something negative about me, I'm cool with that too. I'm always about the smoke too. That's it. I'm just that type of person. But if you want to say something positive, I definitely will appreciate that as well. So where is Glenn is at? Glenn had something to do, but you know, but don't worry, Glenn will be back. He'll be back. We ain't fired Glenn. Glenn's not fired. He just had something to do. Life wins. Taj, man, appreciate you, Taj. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you.
Thank you, Taj.
But anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. You guys are always dope. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. For ages, a Yiddig, deuces. Your crew is out.